Good evening. Here we are for the night owl meditations. This is the first night owl meditation. Thank you to all those who have joined for this live stream, starting in approximately 1 minute time. So we've had a few firsts today. The first outdoor live stream guided meditation, which we did at lunchtime. And now the first evening or night owl meditation. Good morning to those in Australia. Yeah, this is wonderful, you see. Did it this time, then the Australians can have a morning meditation. The UK, evening meditation. In the States, what would it be? Afternoon meditation. This is the great benefit of online meditation. So we reflect on the kindness of those people who create these platforms. In a sense, social media, it does get a lot of stick, and there's always often the news about social media is not particularly positive. But the way we're using these channels over the time during COVID-19, we're using social media to connect and to stay together at home and to deepen our experience of meditation. So in that respect, we can develop gratitude. In the gratitude training, we cultivate gratitude for many things, the obvious things like our food, our family, our teachers, and so forth. But right now, we're using these platforms and apps and devices, hardware, software, that were created by other people. And as a consequence of using them, we can now improve our understanding of the mind and cultivate peace and happiness. It's another opportunity to develop gratitude, positive thinking. Yeah. I wanted to talk this evening about gratitude because I tend to talk a lot about, with respect to meditation practice, morning meditation. I've spoken about that many years, the importance of morning meditation, starting the day right, starting the day with a good intention, starting the day with a clear mind. And over the duration of these 100 days, we have spent time in the mornings emphasizing the start of the day, emphasizing setting that intention, setting the intention to have a patient mind, setting the intention to have a joyful mind, setting the intention to have compassion, taking that intention out with us into our daily life and sharing it and monitoring that intention through the day. So it's very much been focusing on that. But there's a huge part of our life which we haven't really focused on at all, which is the end of the day, which is, of course, as equally important as the beginning of the day. There's a lot of themes, aren't there, to explore with respect to the world of meditation. And the end of the day is as important as the beginning of the day. because the end of the day to some degree is the start of the next day. It's the way we end the day is how we set the scene up in our mind for the new day, how we take our experience into our sleep. Yeah. We're looking at, falling asleep, dreaming, and waking, which, I mean, it's beyond the scope of this session tonight, but on the weekend, on Sunday, on the Moanasati Death and Impermanence Retreat, which is part 4, I'll be exploring the similarities between sleep, dream, and waking, and death, intermediate state, or bardo in Tibetan, and rebirth. There's a lot happening. There's a lot going on at the end of the day. There's an unwinding and ideally a processing. And we can deliberately unwind the day in a virtuous, positive way. So we can take that experience into our sleep. So we can influence our sleep and also decide on the way that we wake up in the morning. Even before we've done a morning meditation, which is, of course, crucial to the day, if we're wanting to have some say over what kind of day we have, is the mind that we have when we wake up, that first mind. Whether your alarm rings or you just wake up naturally, there's a state of mind there, isn't there? You look around your room and there's a feeling. I often joke about in the Mindful Sleep class, which is week 7 of the beginner's course, chapter 7, I've guided to the mindful way of life, how often the first thought we have in the morning when we wake up is, oh no. Isn't it? Oh no. We hear the alarm clock, there's not necessarily this kind of joy. Like this spontaneous joy coming because we're alive. And there's another day ahead of us. And we like bounce out of the bed. It can be a struggle, can't it? It can take time, and we potentially require stimulants such as coffee and tea or whatever to get us going. So the way we end the day can really influence the sleep that we have. Sleep is such an important part of our life. We spend approximately a third of our life asleep, and we can utilize our sleep if we're skillful. But if we're not, it's just there's physical rest going on. Sometimes it's not physical rest. We can wake up exhausted. There's physical rest, but often our mind isn't rested. We can wake up feeling tired, groggy, even negative. Wake up with a negative mind, an angry mind, irritated mind. Then we have to take that mind with us through the next day, through the waking day. And we can perpetuate like a cycle of negativity just from having a bad night's sleep. Why do we have a bad night's sleep? Well, for many reasons. But it can partly be because of the way that we've fallen asleep, what we've decided to do at the end of our day. So it's almost like treat the end of the day as importantly as the beginning of the day. As I mentioned, we're living in the world now. The Dalai Lama, for example, is one of the most well-known meditators. He, lived in Tibet pre-Chinese occupation, 1959, and spent a long time studying with some of the great masters from previous generations, previous meditation masters, and he has he's maintained a deep meditation practice throughout his entire life, in the morning and the evening, whilst also performing for the majority of his life. Well, he's very busy, has huge responsibility on his shoulders. From a professional point of view, has a very busy life, but he has always maintained this meditative practice first thing in the morning and last thing at night, and it's a good habit to get into. We talked about setting up a daily meditation, and we've done these 100 days, haven't we? And we're getting into the habit of a daily meditation. But in an ideal world, we would meditate twice a day. First thing in the morning, last thing at night. And then sporadically through the day, shorter sessions, even just for a few moments or a minute or 2 minutes. But, the main essence of the day, morning and evening. The morning meditation is where we make our intentions for the day. And, there's the freshness there. And the evening sessions is where we process the day. We unwind from the day. We calm the mind from the day. And in a sense, we can reflect on the day. And with respect to the gratitude, this guide to the grateful way of life, which is 56 days of gratitude meditation. You may, at the end of each day, there is a section notes and discussion. And every single day in this book, it talks about develop 5 gratitudes from the day. Every single day is saying that. It doesn't actually say meditate on it, but it says reflect on 5 gratitudes. And one tip that I give in the book is about writing down 5 gratitudes. So that is a beautiful practice to do, to write, actually physically write, not in our phone, not on our computer, but get a pen or a pencil and write in a booklet or a journal or a diary or 5 gratitudes. It's a beautiful practice. It's a very gentle, positive way to conclude the day. Or you can do it mentally, or you can do both. Yeah. In meditation, this is the meditation that we're going to do today to give you a chance, because I know many of you are familiar, because we've studied this previously. Some people studied it, read it. Familiar with these 5 gratitudes. It comes up again and again, but maybe never really had the chance to deeply meditate on this. Now's our chance. Some of you may have done it in the week 7 of the beginner's course, which is there's a meditation in the sleep chapter about waking up smiling, it's called. And that is where we're lying down at that time. And we cultivate gratitude 5, and we review the day. So we start in our mind, we look at our day consciously, and we review it. Yeah, it's like the edited highlights in Match of the Day. We're not watching the whole thing. We're just seeing the highlights. Yeah. And in gratitude, we're getting the highlights. We're highlighting what we're grateful for. And if you look at how your mind works, how the mind works, generally it does this anyway. When we're getting ready for bed, when we're settling down for a night's sleep, when we're lying in our bed, we can process the day. Even without consciously doing it, we're thinking of some things that have happened during the day, maybe some things that people have said to us. Or if you've had a difficult day, those will be the highlights. If we're not careful, we'll bring to mind in a sense, that what we're not grateful for, what we're upset about. And it seems like sometimes they're even stuck in our mind, so we can't sleep because we keep reflecting on what happened or what didn't happen. And then that disturbs our mind. Or we fall asleep because we're so tired, but then we wake up in the middle of the night and that thought is there, or that worry is there, or the memory of what happened during the day is there, because we didn't process it before we went to bed. So the evening meditation is processing the day. Yeah, so we process our day. Naturally, meditation processes what is going on in our mind anyway, so we don't have to consciously process it. It does that, which means we can sleep calmer because we're not processing it in our sleep. But then we mentally list 5 gratitudes. We just take 5 highlighted things from the day. Reasons to feel cheerful. Reasons to feel appreciative. What happened today for me that I can feel grateful for? And then we review the day. So this is positive thinking, isn't it? But it's gentle positive thinking about our life, about what we have. And we can make it simple. We don't have to get necessarily complicated to start with. We just, well, I had a meal. Yeah, I had some food. 1. And you can recall the food briefly, but the main thing is to get the feeling of gratitude. Gratitude is coming from where? Again, in our heart. When we meditate on gratitude, we're not meditating on it up here, it's down here. We feel there's like a glow, there's a warmth. It's like a fire, a warm fire starting to heat our body and mind. How fortunate I am. I had some food. I had some maybe even healthy food. Ooh. I had some water. Yeah. We, I have shelter. Like for example, me here now. I'm inside, aren't I? You saw me earlier, some of you. I was sitting outside in the great outdoors. It was wild, wasn't it? Anyone or anything could have immediately jumped out. And, I could, if I didn't have a home, which many people don't, I maybe would have to sleep out there and then live in, potentially be fearful, be cold, be damp, be wet, not sleep properly, not sleep deeply, not have clean clothes and so forth to sleep in, sheets to sleep in, many things. So we develop appreciation for our home, what we have, the food we have. I'm just giving ideas. There can be hundreds, thousands of different gratitudes you can cultivate. Try and make them personal, but these are just some suggestions. Maybe some conversations we've had, some relationship, anything. So we have a positive mind. We're highlighting the positivity. And once we've listed these 5 gratitudes, we stop the analysis and we just hold that feeling of gratitude. And then we meditate on it. We know what gratitude is. It's a feeling of good fortune. It's a feeling of appreciation. We feel appreciation for our life. Instead of thinking and worrying about what we don't have, we just focus on what we have and we feel lucky. And then we hold that in our meditation from moment to moment. This is the meditation. And at the end of the meditation, we will determine to take this gratitude into our sleep and to wake up tomorrow, first thing, with the mind of gratitude. Okay, so please, when you're ready, sit comfortably, ideally with a straight back, shoulders relaxed. Spend a minute or so focusing on our breathing. trying to focus on the natural breath. Allowing the breath to naturally become deeper. Feel your body, your mind, your world slowing down. And we reflect on our day. We consider 5 gratitudes from our day. Try to make these personal and try to focus on bringing 5 gratitudes to mind. 5 reasons to feel appreciative and happy about your life. Recognizing our good fortune, highlighting what we have already instead of what we don't have. We try to contemplate in a focused way, in a way to bring about a feeling of appreciation, a feeling of gratitude in our heart. It's a warm, positive, open mind. We know this mind in our life. We've had it many times. And in meditation now we deliberately cultivate it. And when it arises, we stop recalling and we just simply focus our attention on it, as though we become one with gratitude, almost as though we are this blissful, positive emotion. We carry it gently from moment to moment. And we think about the night ahead, our sleep and dreams. And we encourage ourselves to take gratitude into our dreams, into our sleep. So the last thought of the day is gratitude. And we hold an intention to wake up tomorrow and as we rise, to rise with gratitude, to wake up smiling with appreciation for another day. We design this for ourselves in meditation. And just before our session concludes, we dedicate all the good energy from contemplating and meditating on gratitude. We dedicate it to the happiness and freedom of all living beings across our world. Okay, thank you very much. When you're ready, please bring your session to a close. So this meditation was set up for, now, potentially the end of the day. So however long we have left, we try to keep gratitude in our mind. As we fall asleep, we try to take gratitude into our sleep, intending to wake up in the morning with gratitude. But I know some people are listening to this and it's the morning or the afternoon. You can encourage yourself to try to keep gratitude in your mind through the day and then apply this practice when it's time for you to go to sleep. Thank you, everybody. I'm grateful for you attending and taking part in this 100th day of our meditations. Tomorrow we move into the hundreds, starting tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Thank you very much and sleep well.